Hello friends, welcome back or welcome to my channel. If you are new, I'm Nala and I'm so happy that you're here. Today's video I have been wanting to do for quite some time, and that is an updated journal system. I have quite the convoluted journal system. I'm going to be really honest with you. It's probably way more than what I need, but this is how my brain works and it compartmentalizes everything. And I also just love having different formats and ways to express my creativity or organize my thoughts and everything. These are some of my favorite videos to watch, and that is like the journal videos, and just seeing how everybody's brains work and organize things is just so fun. Let's go smallest to largest, you know what? So this is my everyday carry. This is one that I made here on the channel. Love her. She comes with me everywhere I go. I always put her in my purse. She is quite chunky. I'm gonna be honest with you. The charm that I have on here is just a little Libra charm I've had for quite a while. And then I do have charms on the side here. There's a dragon and a little dagger, and I had other charms on here, but they fell off. Inside, whenever you open it up, this little pocket, let's see if I can zoom in. Can I zoom? I can. Great. Okay. Is this pocket? I have a tarot weight card right here, along with some little circle stickers to help kind of classify things. I have a memo pad. I love this pink paper. I use it in every single one of my journal systems you'll see. This is a notebook. It started off as like an agenda kind of thing to keep track of things that I needed to do. But I found that it was kind of, what is the word? Repetitive, that I was doing this in this journal and also in my big planner. So I kind of stopped using it for that. And I plan on using it more so for lists and dumps and like a little brain dump list thing that I can carry with me inside here. And then I do carry this Sudoku book with me as well. I find that I actually didn't know how to play Sudoku before, I think like 4 months ago. And then I just one day told my husband, I was like, hey, I want to know how to play. Will you teach me? So it was a thing that we were kind of doing together, and we would time ourselves to kind of see like how far we would progress. Of course, he started in the back of the book because he's much more seasoned than I. I started in the front, and I was trying to do 1 page a day, and I found that it was very rewarding because I would get stuck on certain parts in here, and it was very rewarding whenever I pushed past my brain freezing up, because once I got to points where I couldn't figure it out necessarily right away, my brain is like just like, fuck this, I don't want to do this. But I pushed past it and I would feel so satisfied and almost like clear-minded, like, wow, that actually wasn't as hard as I was making it seem. And so I've just been kind of keeping up with that. I haven't done it in the last couple of weeks, so I would really like to get back onto it. I really enjoy Sudoku now. It's peaceful. As much as like I make it sound terrible, it's very peaceful. This book has not changed all that much just because I love the decor in it so much. This is a collage that I did out of some kids' geographic magazines and like some other things. I like the bat with the flower with the teeth, and it says the immortal gift, kind of like a vampiric sort of theme here. And then on the back this is a picture. You're not supposed to be sticking out there. This is from one of my Shoujo Beat magazines. The back is Yurara, and then also the Princess Knight, and then the Girl Meets Monster, another collage thing that I did. And then this picture is a picture of Xavier from Love and Deep Space. And I just really, really love it. It's just so beautiful cinematic wise, and oh, I love it. And then this is a little sketchbook that I made. This bunny is from Yume Dream Shop, which is also from my Shoujo Beat magazine. And I was just using this. I just use this for like a little kind of sketchbook. It's been a minute since I've sketched in this one, just because I mainly sketch in my large sketchbook. This is like if I'm out and about and I want something to just do and sketch around. if I'm not going to read a book. And then for this one here, this is kind of newer. I started this back in November. This actual card here is from my Dodonami. Love these. They're my favorite blind boxes, I think, ever. They're gorgeous. So this one is Mysterious Trail. She's from the Nightmare Corps. But I did start a new medication over the last few months, and so this I was tracking my mood, when I took the medication, what I ate that day when I took it, how my mood was, how I felt stabilized, if I had any sort of like anxiety flare-ups or anything like that. It started off as like I was doing it daily, and then, you know, as I'm adjusting, I've gone a little bit further out. I do believe that I need to update it, but I will continue. This book here is my vocabulary book. So whenever I'm reading classics or I come across books, or not books, words that I don't know, then I will write it down, and I would like to compile this into sort of like a vocabulary kind of test for me to see if I can remember them. I just recently read Frankenstein, and there's a lot of words in there that I did not know. So a lot of these are from Frankenstein. I have a ton more that I need to put in. I'm kind of backlogged on that. Then I've got this is the other half of this plastic sheet thing that I kind of Frankensteined myself. It's a little zipper pouch with a little dollar heart in it that my husband makes. He really likes folding money into little origami shapes. So this is just one of them I have. And then I made this makeshift folder out of like a pillowcase and some cardstock. I don't really use the folder that often, but I like the design of it. It's very pretty. And then I do have this clasp up here with my little fountain pen that my best friend got me for my birthday. Gorgeous. Gorgina. Love. It doesn't really have a specific name. It's just one off of Amazon, I think. But I love how it's mini and it fits perfectly in here. It was my brain dump journal, and then it turned into more of like I started thinking of like things creatively, creative writing stuff. So don't look too close at those. But this is more so whenever I have creative, more deeper, fictional writing sort of ideas in here. And then this is my gratitude journal. I'm supposed to be writing my gratitude in, but I kind of have fallen off of that. But I would like to get back on that too. And then the back half of that folder. And then in here I do have, this was my library card from whenever I lived in Colorado, but I just like to keep it in here for like a straight edge guide or something. And then some extra stickers. I love this little pocket, and this journal is just so near and dear to my heart because it was the first one that I made. And then this little fabric here is from like a sheet set that I bought at the thrift store, and I actually turned it into a dress, and this was my leftover fabric from that. So yeah, that's this one, and everything fits very nicely. She's sick, but she works. Beautiful. This is my agenda planner. This is where I plan my meals. I keep track of like doctor's appointments, things that we have to do. I love this cover, this system, this journal, whatever you want to call it. So gorgeous. It's the only one of its kind that I have ever seen. I've tried looking for more. It's a Mundax Mundi, and I just love the purple burgundy croc with the little heart detail. I seriously have never been able to find anything like it, and I simply adore it. It's got a pocket here on the front, and I made this little insert here so I could hang off these charms, and I made these charms myself. I love them. Gorgina. So, this is what she looks inside. I have these little fruit sticker things in here. I love the symbolism of fruit, especially pomegranates. Some sticky tabs in here, and there's also this key. This key was actually what is this called? Like a wedding gifts, favors, from the first ever wedding that I did photography for. And so it's just kind of like a symbol for, I can actually do things that I want to achieve in life, and I think that's so special. This flower here is the first flower that my son ever gave me. This is a series that I'm working on. It's called Repose Hollow, and it's a fun little creative project that I'm doing right now. Flipping over a little kind of like blessing card from the church that my husband and I got married in Mexico. And then this page here from our calendar from 2025. We got it from a little Mexican tienda. So I love, just feels homey. And then this is a yearly spread that I made. I do have this as a freebie that I'll have linked down below in my Google Drive. I have quite a few pages on there. I think if you're interested in any of these, it doesn't say freckled bookworm up on top. I think it just says 2026. But I just liked having that up there because I'm narcissistic, I guess. Some extra sticky notes. And then this is a little laminated sheet that my kids wrote on. Each one of them wrote something for me. Yeah. And then some pictures of them, little Polaroids, and our cat. And then on the back, my son got a camera for Christmas that prints out pictures, and so that's us, and it's just adorable. And then this is a little fortune that I've had for several years, but I just think that it's really special. It says, "Those who wish to sing always find a song." This is a little collage thing I did, very loosely collage. It's literally a picture that I posted. I glued a quote on. And I like bringing a sense of whimsy inside of this, and I want it to reflect my life and this kind of like childlike wonder. It's been really healing to my inner child to kind of bring this color and everything back in, and it just feels very much so me. And also just having pieces of my kids and everything in here too. It's really special. This little paper here is actually the 13 Magical Nights thing. This is my last paper that was on there. And you can see that this was the back of the calendar. I also used this from the calendar. This is an insert from, I think it's from a book called Tulips. So I pull out of that book quite a lot for a lot of the pictures that I use within my journal systems. I did make these dividers myself, and I put the stickers and everything on there. I got a label maker while I was visiting in Denver at the thrift store, and I just have been labeling everything like crazy. These pages are from Sleepy Notes Club. These are just like the monthly spreads that she puts out as her freebies. Love her dearly. Don't know her personally, but just love her content, I guess. And so I have the entire month planned out with these. I use this little cat sticky note to kind of keep track of what month I'm in. And then I do have my weeks. And then we get into these. So if you're interested, I do have these inserts up on Google Drive and they are undated, just so that you can do that really easily. This is kind of like what my weeks look like. I have it to where over on this little box over here is my dinner plans for the week. I could fit in probably lunch and breakfast in there too, but mainly like the thing that drives me is just the hardest for me is trying to figure out what I'm going to be doing for dinner. So I like to plan out once a week what I'm going to be cooking for dinner, then basing my grocery shopping list off of that. It makes sense, but for a long time I didn't do that way. I would just kind of wing it in the grocery store, and we would end up spending way too much money. So it's really good, and it's helps me so much mentally knowing what I'm going to be cooking, because I feel like that's one of my daily stressors, is just trying to figure it out and not taking the meat out in time or something, and then just it's a whole domino effect, and so it just really helps. I have these little bunny tabs up here to keep track and let me know that somebody's birthday is coming, so I'll write who it is and then what day their birthday is on. Just kind of like a little heads up whenever I'm flipping through my days. Also, I'll do it for, I think, anniversaries too is on here, but mainly just birthdays. So you can see that like some weeks are crazier than others. I also like to try and keep, on the days that I'm really good, I keep my to-do list, like the main things that I did for that day, just as like a really loose memory tracker, because my memory is shit, man. My memory is shit. And I'll forget what I did the entire week. So, let's see here. Okay, so this is the current week that we're on. We're about to switch over to the next week. So this is a little plastic insert thing that I just made myself. And I like to keep this sticky note on it. I also have these sticky notes up in my Google Drive as well, if that's something that you're interested in. So I'm gonna go ahead and flip over. And then we're at a new week. I like that it's pretty see-through. I could take that off and it'd be completely see-through, but also whenever this is closed, I know I can flip to this day exactly. That's where I need to be. It's very easy for me. This is also how I track my monthly cycle. So I'll use these little heart stickers here to track how long my period is, when it starts, whatever. The colors don't mean anything. I don't have enough of one color to just keep it consistently red, so I just do a little rainbow, make it cute. But yeah, so that's pretty much my monthly, my weeklies, and then I have extra sticky notes here that I have yet to use. These are my inboxes. My inbox, and then my monthly priorities, also from Sleepy Notes Club. I bet you I've done some of these things here. I see I'm doing my YouTube 26 line right now. That's what I am doing in this moment. So I'm gonna check that out for me. Also, my priorities like this month were to start filming again, which I have done, which has been good. To get some movement in, I did get a little bit of movement in. And I've also been a lot more analog too. Is the one for February, obviously, and through the months. So the next tab is lists. So I like to keep just like an overall list of things that I like to cook for dinner pretty often. I do need to update this because there are a few new recipes that I have added in, but I keep them categorized by the type of protein that they are. So like this one is chicken. Then I have beef, and I have pork. Not a lot of pork options, so I'm not a huge pork fan. Then I have meatless options and seafood. Yeah, I do need to add a few more to these though. And it's just so easy to be able to look at this list and be like, this is the things that I typically cook or whatever. Recently I've been really tired of the things that we cook, so I'm like trying to do new recipes, and I found a few that I actually really enjoy. I don't really pay attention to this cleaning log here anymore, but I do still really like this weekly review thing. That it's, I got the list off of Pinterest, but I just kind of remade it into my own aesthetic. And so it's just talking about like getting the things out of your head and onto paper, collecting any notes lying around, process it into the right places, reflecting on the week. Did I get everything done? If I didn't, why didn't I? And how I could set myself up for better success. Reviewing the next week, reviewing the next 4 weeks, and then my review quests ensure that they have a next clear action point to work on, to edit out any impossible or overwhelming tasks and add anything new that has arisen. So I have a tab for trackers. I have tried to do trackers so many times and I just am not very good at keeping up with them. A lot to do with ADHD. I just have not built up that habit, I guess, and I really wish I was better about it. But this is a little cleaning checklist that I've created for myself. So it's got the Monday through Sunday line up here, over here with little boxes, and then going down the line is just the things that I would like to do every single day. And then for the weekly cleanup, they are sectioned off into different areas of the home. So we've got office and car, bedroom, kitchen, living room, bathroom, laundry room, and outside. And just kind of like the things that I should be doing weekly. I also need to do a monthly one, but I have not gotten to that just yet. And then back here, I have this cutie little postcard that I got from the thrift store, and my dog's paw, and my cat's paw. Hers didn't show up so well. I got this idea from Life of Hope, and I really enjoyed that. And then I've got my contact list back here, but it's got people's phone numbers and addresses and stuff, and so I'm not going to show that. And then back here is just a little pouch with some extra stickers and extra cleaning trackers. I don't think I have the cleaning checklist because it's kind of tailored to what I need, but if that's something that you're interested, let me know. And then back here, this is also from that Tulip book. They have so many different like little visuals that I just love them. And then in the back here, I have a Polaroid of my husband and I. This is a queen card. My husband thought it'd be really cute that I have the queen and he has the king. So he keeps the king card. I think it was in the back of his phone. And mine was in the back of my phone for a long time. But it just didn't work with like my magnetic case that I was using. So I put it in here. And then I have a match. I just like the symbolism of the fire. Another fortune, which I love, and then an old $5 bill that my husband gave to me whenever we first started dating. There's just like this old superstition that, you know, your wallet should never be empty of money, so he gave me this $5 bill to always have money in my wallet, and so far, you know what? It's worked really well for us. And then extra kitty sticky tabs, and a Psyduck Pokemon card because my family likes to joke around, and if I were a Pokemon, I'd be Psyduck. So, and then what do I have? Oh, some extra little stickers here. And then there is a pocket back here that I do keep my extra little tabs in here and cards that I need to allocate to the correct dates for appointments. And then this cover is nice because it does have a pocket on the back, which I really like. I really wanted the Filofax Ranger for a long time, which like I still would love to have it, but it's just so hard to get and so expensive. So I loved the fact that this one has a pocket on the back. I don't use it that often because it can make it quite chunky, and she's already pretty chunky as she is. But yeah, love that. So moving on, this is another journal that I made myself out of the same material of the small one, but I decided to embroider this one with a sword. So this is actually, that's metal, but I painted it silver and I embroidered it, and I added these little beaded flowers and a dragonfly, and I just think it's so gorgeous. Love it, with her little charms. Yeah, it's very much so me. So we open it up, and I have these pockets here. So this pocket was holding some photo strips and some stickers. And then I do have this journal here. Originally, I was doing my morning pages in these journals here, but I have moved on to this journal here, is what's now holding my morning pages. So, yeah. This is what I've been doing morning pages in as of recently. I've been doing okay on keeping up. I still keep I forget to do them every single day. But when I remember them, I do them. But this notebook I got from Ollie's. Not Aldi's, but Ollie's. It's like the old man store. That's what my kids call it. I got a 2-pack of these journals for $2.99. Such a score, so I bought 2 packs of them. I honestly probably should have done more, but hey, whatever. And then these little brown notebooks are from Walmart. I think they're like $1. And so, of course, I use my label maker. This is some Divine Tides 2 stuff. Whoop, did you see? So we'll move on. And then this is my content notebook. So just whenever I want to write, not necessarily scripts, but just bullet points about things that I want to talk about for videos. This is what that's for. And then this is my creative notebook. So this is where I have a lot of various creative writing projects where I have ideas for things, but I want to dive a little bit further. So that's those in there. And then over here is another pocket. I actually have another pocket back here too, but I don't have anything in there. And these are little date sheets. I don't use these so much anymore. I just write the date. I find it just troublesome to have to always try and figure out if I have the right sticker sheets or whatever. So I found that with myself, I have to make things as easy as possible. Otherwise, I probably won't do it. But again, isn't she pretty? I love her. I sometimes wish that I had like the really sophisticated looking traveler's notebooks like the Louise Carmen, but then I think about this one has so much personality to it, and it really is just me, like in a nutshell, and I just love it. Okay, I have 2 very new additions. This is my Commonplace book. So I've completely Frankensteined this myself. I really loved the foggy, what is it, the foggy, I don't remember, I'm so tired, it's late, it's almost midnight. But the foggy plaid, I think is what it's called, Hobonichi cover. I really like that one, but I did not have the Hobonichi kind of money, so I did this myself. I don't want to really take it apart right now, but it was originally a Blue Sky Walmart, just regular brown. The whole thing was this color. It was nice, but I didn't quite vibe with it. I guess I can take it off because I did 2 things to it, which could be really cool. You know, you might like to see that. So I'll just take it off real quick. So originally what I did was I made this cover for it, which I also really still love. I printed out this kind of like comic strip. I wanted it to be like the other Hobonichi. My brain is not working at the moment, but the sort of manga style. And I really liked it, but I wanted to make it more fantasy-esque, so I found these pictures on Pinterest and I just put them in the same kind of comic manga format. And I still think that that's really beautiful. However, I do really also love the foggy plaid. So I created that out of some fabric that I got from the thrift store. It was a tablecloth. And so I ended up just cutting that up and putting it in here. And then I also made my own little plastic cover out of some other notebook that I got. It's not, you know, the greatest quality. I literally melted it together with my hair straightener, but we're not going to talk about that right now. And then once we open it up, have a little photo strip, some more stickers. This is a reoccurring theme. This little pen loop thing I added is just an adhesive one. And then I have a Gigi card from my blind box. Back here is this clip. It's like a straight edge clip. I don't remember what they called it. And then back here, I have an extra little notebook for like brain dumpy things. And then a postcard from the zoo. And this beautiful picture of tulips on a young daughter of the Picts. Also from that tulip book. I told you they have such a wide variety of art that it just is so beautiful. I don't know where I want to put it yet, so it's just been sitting back there. This is the Stalogy A5 365, I think is this one. This is also from another blind box. This one I got for my birthday from one of my daughters, and she's just so cute. She's the one that I wanted, so I love that so much. They sit on my computer desk here, and they're just adorable. I love them. And then, again, from the tulip book. I love this tulip book. I cannot. So with my Commonplace book, a lot of people might start a new one for the new year, but I like to change my Commonplace books out on each birthday. Because for me, personally, I feel like my birthday is a lot more transformative than the new year. So the new year, I'm kind of like really reclusive. For my birthday, now that's a whole nother thing. All right, so we have my key. So research, expanding the mind, documentaries, facts, language. I have adventure, scrapbooking, favorites, lists, photographs, memory keeping, quotes, lyrics, mood board, blogs, self-reflection, poems, media reviews, movies, shows, books, YouTube, personal self-development, manifestations, and light journaling. Yeah, I initially started out with this book. I'm like, I'm going to make it very super pretty. I want to make it aesthetic. But then I'm like, that's not the point of a Commonplace book. Point of a Commonplace is to just really use it. And it's supposed to be a representation of yourself and stuff. So I'm like, as I go forward, I'm not as aesthetic with it, I guess you could say. And I just start writing and using it a little bit more. I'm still trying to figure out what kind of setup works for me and works for my brain. I am excited. My husband for Christmas bought me this little Kodak printer. So I can use it for my media reviews now. And so it's going to look very similar to Megan Rhiannon and how she has them kind of categorized up here with the genre, the hour run, the runtime, and then my review kind of. So I'll have that set up here within this month. But I've been doing a lot of memory keeping, kind of almost junk journaling, memory keeping kind of things. And then also poetry. So these are a couple of poems that I wrote. And I used my niece's typewriter. And then also kind of collage things in here. So this was from an old Winnie the Pooh book. And then I used the letters from that book to create like a really short poem. And then wrote a little bit on how, like that, I reflect on that and how it makes me feel. A little bit more memory keeping. And then this is like my master list of all of the media that I would like to consume within 2026, the different forms. And this isn't even all of it. This is like the main hitters. So I've got my anime list, webtoon list, my game list, book list. Ideally my book list would be way long. I just haven't sat down to like pick out the books that I want to read. My film list, TV list, and solo RPGs. That's a new one. I want to get into solo RPGs this year. So the first one that I'm going to start out with, I think, is Carved by the Garden. It's just like really quickly. I'll just show it to you. It looks like this. And I'm really excited to get into this. It looks so cool. It's a full core solo RPG, so I'm very eager to get into that. And then this is just a list of the media that I have been consuming in January already. So I just say, you know, what the title of it is, what it is, so anime or film, manhwa, novels, games, and yeah. So then I can then take this and separate it into the different review forms that I would like. Stop. I was gonna write these quotes from this anime. I love this anime so much. It's May I Ask for One Final Thing. And I just had to write this quote down because it was so good. She said, "May I kindly knock out the teeth of this craven, two-faced bitch?" I can't. I love that so much. There's honestly so many quotes that I could pull out from that. I might just rewatch that anime all over again just to pull out quotes. It was so good. And then this is a page of a few Guillermo del Toro's quotes that I really love. Many of us are made of a thinner glass than regular people, and we resonate with the world in a way that is more delicate and more painful in many ways than your regular person. And I think that we feel outcast. There are truths about oneself that are really bad and hard to admit, but when you finally have the courage and say them, you liberate yourself. And monsters are a personification of that. And then the last one is, love is not transformation, love is acceptance and understanding. And I'm just like in my year of Guillermo del Toro. So there's probably going to be a lot of quotes from him in here. I'm doing a whole unit study of his reading recommendations. I'm watching all of his films. That's all I have in here for now. I have a whole lot to fill it up with. I think I've been kind of scared to fill it because I never want to fill them out too quickly, but then I find that I have a ton of pages left at the end, so I think I'm going to be using this a lot more. And then last but certainly not least is my curriculum. This is my curriculum binder. So I thrifted this for like $3 or something at the thrift store. It's an A5 size ring binder. I don't know the brand, but it is very good quality. There's no brand on it. I've seen smaller versions of this on Etsy. I'm not sure what the brand is. That's kind of like what you get whenever you go to the thrift store sometimes. So I'm going to try and go through this kind of quickly because my iPad is dying. Sticker from Howl's Moving Castle. I love Howl. And then this is also another Dodonami Nightmare Core box thing. She's actually the one that I wanted so bad. Look at her. She's so pretty. I got this for Christmas from my other daughter, and I love her so much. She's exactly who I wanted. A picture of me from a vintage photo booth in Denver, and then little charm from a friend. And then this is a library card to keep track of what I am reading in the month. I do need to change that out. A paper clip from my husband. I think it's from Pop Shelf. He got it for me in my stocking. It was a stocking stuffer. Printed this out, laminated it myself. I have my label maker that I label literally so many things in. And then I have some washi tapes on here and more pink memo pads and a bookmark from my public library that says, "I myself am strange and unusual." And you'll see that there's a theme of very gothic, spooky monsters, but whimsical in here too. So I really love this tortoise front cover. It came from a notebook that I had bought from a craft store many years ago, but I had nearly filled all of the pages, but I just love this cover so much, so I just cut it off of that journal, and I can now reuse it. So I really love it. Another little clip here, and then this is my Pilot Parallel pen, so it's for black lettering. It's got a very flat-edged nib, very skinny, very flat, to do that sort of gothic style black lettering. So I'm trying to learn how to do that. And then I've got some book recommendations I want to go over to see if I want to read them. This picture of this castle is from a cosmic horror zine. You'll see that I have quite a few pictures from that zine. Creative projects that I'm working on, just little cute things to make it a little cute in here. My husband and I on the beach, and some pictures that my kids drew. A yearly calendar with all of the moon phases because I'm trying to keep track of those. And then topics that I want to dive into within my curriculum over time. This was just like a master list of things that kind of came into my head. I can go into that more deeply in a different video if you would like. And then moving on, I really enjoy the idea of you are the universe experiencing itself. I just think it's really beautiful imagery and how things kind of parallel. I think it's really beautiful. This is a double spread of Nana, obviously. These are from my old Shoujo Beat magazines from whenever I was a teenager. I was like middle school. And so I just wanted to find a new way to heal my inner child and input some of the things from my childhood into my adult things. And I think that's a really good way to really heal parts of myself. And it just looks so cool too. Why not? And then, so this was just a log of the media that I consumed in December. Ideally, I would have liked to put that in my Commonplace book, but I just put it here for some reason. And then, like I said, I'm doing like this Guillermo del Toro kind of unit study thing, and so I have been watching his movies. I created this mood board based off of Pan's Labyrinth, and then I did a brief little study of Pan's Labyrinth, the symbolism behind the colors, certain choices that characters made, and how I think this reflects back into the real world. And I also, like, I'll watch YouTube dissertation kind of little video essays to kind of delve further into that and develop my ideas further. I am practicing how to write in Spanish. I know how to speak Spanish pretty fluently, I would say. It's a little broken sometimes, but my husband is from Zacatecas, so whenever I first met him, he didn't know English. So I picked up on Spanish pretty quickly, along with living inside of a Spanish-speaking household for several years. I really did pick up on it, but I never actually wrote in Spanish, so I just want to journal a little bit more in Spanish and maybe read some books in Spanish and just kind of like really immerse myself back into it. Since moving to Georgia, we like do not have a Hispanic community around us, and so we don't practice as much as we would like to. So I just want to bring that back in. So another picture from the Cosmic Horror, another binder thing. This page here, I actually printed these out myself. I designed them and printed them out myself. I just really, this is what the pages look like in this notebook. And I just really enjoyed that. It works with my brain really well. I'm gonna skip past some of these here. Not necessary. History-wise, right now, I am trying to do some research on the pre-Christian societies and the matriarchy debate about, you know, how before we were a very matriarchal society, and a lot of history shows that. One important book that I'm wanting to read is When God Was a Woman. And then if I am able to find resources online, like PDFs and stuff on books, then I will print them out and add them in and annotate them within this binder. I think it's really good to really engage with it in this way, and I'm able to annotate it and have it here within the binder. That helps me really just have the information stick in. And then I have a tab for the Artist Way, but I've come to find out that actually the Artist Way is just a whole lot of journaling and like other creations, and not really, you know, work of me writing it down within here. Most of it is just morning pages. So I'm going to convert this tab to something else because I just love this page so much, but right now it's empty. Along with the soul one is empty too. Then I have literature. So like I said, I'm doing a unit with Guillermo del Toro's recommendations. So this is a list of books that I have found that he recommended in videos online. And so they are classified by the type of books that they are. We have classics, nonfiction, horror, fantasy, sci-fi, short stories, and other beloved Gothic novels. And within each one, I have a little summary to kind of remind myself what that book is about and whether or not I'm going to be in the mood to read that. So I did just finish Frankenstein today. So I'm eager to like go through this and figure out which one I want next. Another picture from that Cosmic Horror creative project that I'm working on. And then these graph papers back here is another one that I designed and printed myself. Designed, I say very loosely because, I mean, they're just squares. But the size of them and the color of it and everything just really meshes well in my brain. So, all the way in the back here, we have another Polaroid of my family and I on our family ranch. And then some little sticky note tabs, extra library cards for the rest of the months of the year. I do have these in the freebie Google Drive if you are interested. And then I have this picture here that I laminated and printed off myself. And then some sticky note tabs, but they are translucent. So if I want to write in a book, but I don't want to obstruct my view of anything, then I can use this. There's more than one here, come on. Use it so it looks like I'm writing in the book, but I'm really not. And so that's good for like if you have library books that you want to take notes in or something and you want to transfer the notes over. That works out for that too. And then just my mild liner. So yeah, that's what I've got going. I know it's a lot, but they each have their purpose that they kind of serve, and I've really been enjoying it a lot. I think it, like, with ADHD, it's really important to keep things new and fun and exciting. I need those hits of dopamine, and so new little systems kind of do that for me. It can be maybe a little bit overwhelming at times, but I think that since they each serve their own purpose, it works out. So yeah, I hate to like just rush off super quickly, but my iPad is like on 2%, and it's what I'm using to record through with my DJI, so I have to go. But thank you so much for sitting here and listening to me ramble about my very extensive, convoluted journaling system. I'd love to hear what you guys are doing in order to like keep your year inspired and organized. And yeah, I will talk to you again soon. Have a beautiful day. Stay excellent. Bye.